is up to Richard Jefferson. Oh my gosh, the greatest poster of all time that they called an offensive foul because he was hating.
What up?
What up, man? Hear me?
What's your question?
Oh, I just was just wondering, do you have, first of all,
I'm fucking with you.
Kobe
I'm
Bryant,
fucking with
listen,
you.
I just want to
Who's
say
your
this, man.
favorite player? Who's your favorite player?
Kobe Bryant and LeBron James are the two best players I've ever seen.
Oh, I said, who's your favorite? I said, who's your favorite?
All time wise?
No, I'm just saying, who's your favorite between the two?
Oh, between the two, I would say Kobe.
Okay, so he's your favorite player. Do you think that impacts your decision making when it comes to this conversation?
No, he's my favorite because he's the best.
Oh, okay, so he's your favorite from the best. So now this is the thing. You said I do this for a living, and you guys have been doing an okay job of sticking with the facts, right? You're doing an okay job of sticking with the facts, but as soon as the facts start to get a little back and forth, you guys start just getting disrespectful. So that's not the way the conversation. I'm just saying that's not the way the conversation could.
No, you're right. You're right.
But this is what I'm gonna say. You guys are both making valid points, right? LeBron James, part of the reason why he had to leave Cleveland is because they were so good from the drop that they were never going to get another top 5 pick. They were never going to get an Andrew Bynum tip pick, right? They weren't getting that. Secondly, Kobe did have the luxury of playing with 3 All-Stars. Don't forget at one point in time, the Lakers had Van Exel, Eddie Jones, and Shaq. All 4 of them made the All-Star game, right? That's very, very different. So when you're trying to compare those, understand the situations are different. No different than Charles Barkley to the league with Maurice Lucas, Dr. J, and Moses Malone. Where you go can impact your situation and how you're talked about. But this is my point. He was the best player in the world for those 3 championships. Exactly. Now Kobe for the
but Richard Jefferson, you said we didn't deal with the facts respectfully though. But didn't Shaquille O'Neal say that Kobe was the best player on all 9 planets?
No. But listen, but you have to understand the NBA culture. You have to understand the NBA culture. Let me explain the NBA culture. Remember when Bron got so much heat for saying that he was the best player, that he thought he was the greatest player of all time? Most of the times, players just elevate each other, right? Like Magic says Kobe's the greatest Laker, right? Even though he didn't win the most championship, doesn't have the most MVPs, not the most herald, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, not the most points.
Richard, you got to understand there's different ways that you can look at it because Kobe Bryant won without Shaq and Magic didn't win without Kareem. What about in the Western Conference playoff? Because if you're talking about the NBA, hold on, because you know this, right? If you're talking about the NBA culture at the time, what about the fact that they used to say that real NBA finals happen in the Western Conference Finals, and that's when Kobe was outplaying Shaq. So if you want to look at it that way, you can't. It's not.
No. But that's.
He wasn't hit all the time. But I'm saying he wasn't hitting.
Whoa. We can't say they are saying. They are saying is not a fact.
Okay,
they are saying
is not. The fact is he outplayed Shaq when he played against better competition in the West. That's just called.
And as a person that played against them in the NBA Finals. I'm just, if you allow me to speak, I'll give you, as a person that played.
Your team wasn't as good as the Kings, though. You know that. Your team was not as good as the Kings.
What are you talking about? First of all, that's false. If you go back and look at it, we split that first year. Another thing that we weren't going to do, and that I never did in my time with Jersey, is have an epic collapse like they did in Game 7. So before you start talking about like who was better and this and that, we went to 2 straight NBA Finals. We won 10 in a row in the conference players. We were tied 2-2 with the San Antonio Spurs. So don't talk about they were better, bro. Like Sacramento were those dogs. Like they were those dogs.
They went Game 7 with the champions, and y'all got swept. It just is what it is, Richard. You one of my favorite players.
No. Whoa. I'm not disrespecting that year. That's not what I'm saying. That year they played because they had the size. Now there would have been a very different matchup problem. The problem is Shaquille was the problem. And this is what I'm expressing to you. I'm just clearly expressing to you. Shaquille O'Neal made it easier for everyone else to do what they were doing. And I'm not here to disrespect Kobe. I'm not here to disrespect Bron or whoever. If you have a favorite player, you have a favorite player. But there is hard to find a true metric, in my opinion, over a long period of time. Let me finish, homie. Over a long period of time that shows one is better than the other. If you were to look at it, the numbers, the awards, they would lean towards LeBron.
Thank you.
finals MVPs. I'm saying lean towards. I'm not saying that is a definite. Kobe might have more all defensive teams and, scoring time. But what I'm saying is that statistically looking, LeBron was a better player. Statistically looking.
But Richard, but if you look at the statistics, can we use what you brought up earlier about the team that Kobe went to? Because don't you think his stats would be skewed if you have to go to a team with more legends on it? Like, for example, statistically, I can say Kyrie Irving had a better rookie season in first few years to his career than Kawhi Leonard. But that's because
you're changing the argument. I'm not
saying to say. Richard, hold on, Richard. You have to understand exactly what I'm saying. Because again, what about this metric? I also wanted to ask you this. What about this metric? Have you ever seen LeBron James win a championship with a player when his second option was on the level of Pau Gasol? No disrespect to Pau Gasol, but I'm just saying they had to beat a super team with that team with Pau Gasol on it. I believe, in my opinion, Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade, and Anthony Davis are all better than Pau Gasol. And you can also say that.
But you're making it. But no. But this is where these things are.
This is over a long period of time because Kobe was in his prime since 01. No. This is listen. This is how I actually analyze the level of difficulty these players went through. Because if we can say
really quickly, can I say something really quickly?
If we go off of stats, which is
let Richard Jefferson speak.
Let him answer. I just let him talk the whole time. If we go off of stats, which Wilt Chamberlain is better than Shaq, right?
You gotta account for pace too.
Wait a second. Can I answer? Or are you just asking a rhetorical question because you want to continue?
No, go ahead.
Can I answer? Okay.
Go ahead.
So one of your bad faith arguments here is you're like, all of those guys were better than Pau Gasol. You make it seem fucking the top that Pau Gasol. You make it
okay. It didn't stop at the guys that I said either.
Bro.
Man, hold on.
You didn't have to mute him, bro.
I didn't mute him. I think he muted himself.
But hold on. But let me say this.
Let's wait for him to finish. Let's wait for him to finish.
Let's wait for him.
That's what people always say. I didn't stop. Listen, if it doesn't stop at Pau Gasol, it doesn't stop at the guys that I named either.
But hold on. Let me say this, right? The fact that you're trying to say that Will.
You say Pau Gasol. You say Pau Gasol. They had Derek Fisher. They had Ron Artest. They had Ron Artest.
You got an echo.
Somebody got to turn off their mic.
I think it was yours, Richard. You had an echo real quick. Yeah, I mean, we can go down the whole roster. Like, the third option, I mean, LeBron had better third options as well. So, I'm going to wait for you to fix your mic, but we can go down the roster right now. I mean, we can literally look at it. You had even the teams on Cleveland. Roster right now. I mean, we can literally look at it. You had even the teams on Cleveland. Right now. I mean, we can literally look at it. Hey, Richard, your mic is I think you got I think it's your mic. When you turn your mic back on, that's when we hear the echo. That's like I try to put the other people out to try to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I was about to say, if you just drop and come back.
Hello.
Yeah, you good.
So no. I wasn't trying to argue. What I'm saying is that roster that the Lakers had was very good. They were the two-time defending champions, and they had been together for multiple years. They get swept by Dallas. Then people want to go and look at the NBA Finals where LeBron was with his squad for the first time, and he played poorly. That happens. Kobe Bryant played terrible in Game 7, and when it was Derek Fisher and all these guys against the Celtics. Now, mind you, he was the Finals MVP, and he was the reason why I was there. But Game 7 was not a Kobe Bryant game. That was not a Kobe.
But Richard,
so let me finish. Real quick.
I know. How did he play? How did he play bad if he had 23 and 16 rebounds and he led the whole game in scoring? He shot 6 for 24 from the field, but I've seen LeBron shoot 9 for 24.
Did you just say no? When I say
but I've seen LeBron. But I've seen LeBron shoot. Hold on. But I've seen LeBron shoot 9 for 24, and he had a guy like Kyrie Irving that averaged 27 with him. But I'm saying nobody else on the team was averaging 20.
No, this is the problem. You're trying to frame an argument with everything listen. What everything I say, you're trying to bat. What we're doing is an overarching thing. If we just go back and forth to one game, to one team, and to one player, this argument will last forever, as it always has.
One player.
When I'm expressing to you, the only thing I'm expressing to you is this: there is not a lot of statistical or awards that leans towards Kobe. That's just the facts. The facts are there are not a lot of things that lean towards that. When you look at Bron has 4 championships and has 4 finals MVPs, and he was the best player on every one of those teams, all 10 of those finals. Unfortunately, Kobe, because he was very young and Shaq was already a stud, it took time for Kobe to go in it. That's why the most important championship for Kobe was the one he without Shaq. The most important championship that LeBron won was the one he won without Shaq. The one that he won in Cleveland. So this argument doesn't change. But you have to give. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, first of all, he won 2 with Shaq, and I wanted to ask you something. When you bring up Kobe Bryant having 2,
he won 3 with Shaq. He won 3 with Shaq.
Excuse me. I'm going to say 2 without Shaq.
But I said the first most important one was the first one he won without Shaq. I agree with you, saying that's the most important one.
But let me ask you this, though. So when you said Kobe Bryant needed time to develop, because what I do is I take a deep dive and I see that Kobe was able to average 33 against the Spurs at age 22. But when it comes to LeBron James, a lot of people say he was too young, and that's why he couldn't play that well against the Spurs. But he was the same age at age 22. And I seen Kobe Bryant beat the Spurs without Shaq, and he beat them in 5 games when he was 29. LeBron lost to them in 5 games when he was 29.
Are very different, homie. 29 and 22. So what I'm saying though is Kobe was not the best player on the team.
Hold on, bro. But I'm saying LeBron James lost to them when he was 29. When he had the super team Miami Heat. I seen Kobe beat them in 08 when he was 29. What about the fact? No, I'm just saying. See, these are the ways that you can actually look at it and determine.
No. You're trying to compare. You're trying to say, listen, he beat the Spurs. He lost to the Spurs in 20. He lost to the Spurs in 04, and then Kobe beat the Spurs in 08. That's not a good faith argument.
I'm talking about how he performed because remember, he couldn't shoot back then, LeBron James. So even though Kobe had Shaq clogged the paint, so Kobe had to make a lot of jump shots.
No. Shaq didn't clog the paint. Shaq didn't clog the paint. Shaq forced double teams and triple teams that allowed for open coverage.
Kobe was getting triple teamed as well. Right.
Yeah, triple team. Okay, so why does Kobe not have any finals MVP when Shaq was on the team? D Wade got a finals MVP shortly after Shaq left, since Shaq was still dominant. I played against him in the conference finals, and I played against him in the semis. So,
because Shaq actually took a step back.
Shaq what?
Shaq actually took a step back for D Wade, and he wasn't taking a step back for Kobe, even though Kobe was better than D Wade. So that doesn't make sense to me. We seen Kobe Bryant, him.
No, you can't. That's not the argument. It's not the argument.
You just asked me. I'm saying Shaq didn't do it. Shaq, because remember, when Kobe was second option to Shaq, he was still averaging 30 against the Spurs. Am I lying to you or am I flying to you, Richard?
He was not the second option. He was not the second option. You know why I can tell you he wasn't the second option? Because I've seen every scouting report and I played against him. He was not the second option. You were going to say, you can't stop Shaq. You can't stop him. Teams were having to have more defenders on their roster to guard Shaq.
I'm saying when Kobe was the second option, Kobe was still averaging 30 in 01. When Shaq became the second option, well, even if you want to say that he wasn't a second option, you can see that, again, Kobe at that time was better than D Wade, but Shaq wasn't willing to take a step back. When he went to Miami, he said it's D Wade's team.
He wasn't willing to take a step back because he was the better player on the team.
But he wasn't the better player on the team. Kobe averaged 30 with Shaq, and Shaq never averaged 30 with Kobe.
Really? Do you remember what Shaq's numbers? What were Shaq numbers in the Detroit playoffs?
There's more playoffs to that, though.
I'm saying in the NBA Finals, what were Shaq's numbers?
Oh yeah, no, Shaq played better in the finals
versus what Kobe did.
So if you play better,
and again, I know.
Hold on, Rizard. So that's my point right there, though, Rizard. You said LeBron was the best player on all the teams he was on, so I can ask about D Wade in 2011 when he played better in the finals, right?
Yeah, they lost.
No, right. And
they
lost.
Right. Yeah, they lost to the same. They lost to the same Kobe Bryant team. So if you really want to compare, that's a common. Whoa! If you want to compare,
they lost to the same team that Kobe beat. I mean that D Wade beat though. So D Wade beat the team. D Wade beat that team without LeBron. Then when LeBron comes, he can't beat him.
Bro, that's not the same fucking team. This is what I'm trying to express to you. It's not the same team. If you play a team 2 years later, a year later, that's not the same team. But for instance, we do have one common foe. we do have one info. Dallas, when they won the championship, they played the Lakers with Kobe, and they played Miami with LeBron. Right, so like right? you want to express to me, you want to express to me that Sacramento went to 7 and we got swept. So Sacramento went to 7 and we got swept. So by using that math, you're saying that they were a better team, right? Kobe and those boys got swept. Bron and those guys, they won. They won something.
I just told you, yeah, of course, they was bro, Richard. Excuse my language. They was a super team. They was no. They had two top 5 players in the league, bro. That's why. So they were obviously a better team than the Lakers team that year. But the Lakers had come off of going to 3 straight finals. At some point, a dynasty is not. No,
2 straight.
No, 3 straight finals.
They were 2 straight.
They went to 3 straight finals.
Excuse me. The 3. You're right. Correct. They lost to Boston. That first year. Correct. But now compare that. No. Compare that.
So listen, and I hear no Kobe fans making an excuse or no LeBron fans making an excuse for Kobe in 2008 when he lost to a super team. All he did was come back and beat that super team. How that work? And guess what, LeBron? Guess what? You want to talk about record? LeBron James. No. We know that's.
Wait. Really quick,
like that's not a super team.
Let me give you a little.
My bad.
No. I'm going to give you a little insight about how super. No. Super teams are not what you think to a certain degree, right? Let's be real, right? Like when you get drafted by a team, you are somewhat pushed into that situation and whatever is going to happen from there. What I'm expressing about the super team is in Boston, they had Paul Pierce, they had Rondo, they had a slew of guys. So very similar to how when the Golden State Warriors had that loaded team, the only way for players to even compete is to be on the same team. The Boston team was put together via Kevin McHale doing a pat on the back to Danny Ainge and giving him a top 10 player in the league in Kevin Garnett. So like that Boston Celtics bullshit that was pushed together, and then they say, oh, LeBron started the super team. Boston had 3 Hall of Famers and added a 5-time All-Star and a young Rondo, who very quickly became that dude. So Boston was a super team. LeBron left a better team and went to Miami, which was the 7th seed or the 8th seed, and they added Chris Bosh. So that turned them into on the same level as Boston.
Right,
that
but
turned them on to
that's my point, Richard. That's my point, yeah. Look, I said Boston was a super team, and all I was saying was nobody makes an excuse for Kobe in 08. Nowadays, if you lose to a super team, everybody will make excuses for you. But I'm saying Kobe came back and beat a super team in 2010 without another top 75 player on his team. Nobody averaged 20 on that team besides Kobe. Also, what I'm saying to you is, yes, if Miami was on the level of Boston, that means Miami was also a super team. That means they's better than the Lakers in 2011. That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, that's what I'm trying to express to you in this Kobe versus LeBron debate. When you go this game, you're not going to get to a resolve. There is no right answer in this. First of all, most of the people start with who their favorite player is, and then they start making arguments around that. At the end of the day, if you want to know my beliefs, I don't think that Kobe Bryant is the best Laker ever. I think Magic Johnson is.
Why didn't he win without the ring?
Because what are you talking about?
So I'm saying, so why didn't
he win with I feel like he won without Kareem. He actually had a pretty good game one time, I could think, as a young boy without Kareem. And then let's not forget James Worthy I think it was James Worthy and other things. And also on top of it, that was after the Michael Jordan era. Michael Jordan took over. So Magic comes in 1980. I think he wins his last championship, 87, 88, somewhere around there. He wins his last one. And then after that, surely it's the Detroit Pistons, who were those fucking dudes. And then it was Michael Jordan's time.
But so Kobe you can say why the teams he had to beat, though.
What?
I'm saying, but Kobe was beating the new guys that he had to beat. He beat KD, Russ, and Harden in 2010. He beat the teams LeBron James couldn't beat. LeBron was basically the new Michael. No.
Say that those were new dudes. Though Michael Jordan wasn't a new dude in '91. And he wasn't a new dude. He was an established guy.
Kevin Durant wasn't a new dude neither. I meant like the younger generation. Kevin Durant had already started leading the league in scoring. And he had Russell Westbrook as well on his team. And Kobe Bryant, listen, if he accomplished it, he accomplished it. If Magic didn't, that's what I'm saying. How could you just still put him over?
Well, how can I put Magic over? Well, if you look at MVPs, if you look at Finals MVPs, and if you look at championships. But when you look at that, they have the same amount of championships. But when you look at that, immediately you will say, well, you will then make arguments of why those aren't valid for Kobe Bryant. Like the same kind of
other people vote for those awards, so I have to make my own assessment, right? They made their assessment when they gave Magic a Finals MVP when he averaged 19 points and Kareem averaged 33 and 14. If that was Kobe and Shaq, Kobe wouldn't get no Finals MVP. Even though
it also is the manner in which Kobe was, or not Kobe, but Magic was also spoon feeding and making sure, because Magic Johnson actually prolonged the career of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, prolonged it.
Right, I can say
it wasn't for some financial issues and playing with Magic. Kobe, what? You think Kobe did what?
I was saying Kobe. Who you think was passing the ball to Shaq?
Dude, I'm not here to disparage Kobe with this argument. What I'm saying is that there was like Shaq was the most dominant player in the world for 5 years and won 3 championships. Swept us in the postseason.
Kareem had the most unstoppable move. So really, all you had to do was give it to Kareem anyway. He was gonna make it.
Right.
Yeah, you're making it sound pretty simple to just be like, it's unstoppable move, so it's simple. No, it wasn't. Come on, man. Now, I jumped in here because I respect your basketball IQ. I jumped in here because I respect your basketball IQ. Okay, so let's not. That's where I'm saying
I joke around a lot on here, bro.
Yeah. I'm with you. But I'm saying we having a hoop conversation, so it's no disrespect. Yeah. It starts with who your favorite player is, and then everyone makes arguments framed around that. Right? Very rarely do you hear LeBron is my favorite player or Kobe is my favorite player. I was born and raised a Laker. I am a Kobe fan. You will never hear that person say LeBron is better. It just isn't. But I'm sorry. Every major metric, every single space, if people look at it objectively, there are not many people, and yeah, Kobe, like everybody kind of gives their little jabs and bars. Jordan is the greatest, and this is the greatest, and Bob. Like, I hate to break this to you, but Tim Duncan had a better career than Kobe.
Not really.
Like
not really because Tim Duncan never repeated. Kobe Bryant actually has more championships in the 2000s than Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant.
We said career.
Listen. And Kobe Bryant's numbers never tapered off, so his prime is actually longer than Tim Duncan's if you think about it.
Well, I would say your prime is when you're impacting the game at a high level. And so when you're talking about winning 1,000 games, when you're talking about winning 1,000 games over the course of your career, that's what Tim Duncan did. Never missing the postseason for 20 years, that's what Tim Duncan did. Being able to recruit players to come so you can maintain your prime and your prime can be longer. That's what Tim Duncan did. So like when you talk about Kobe never repeated on the MVP. Tim Duncan almost had a quadruple double.
Well, he repeated in Finals MVP.
What? No, I'm saying never. No, I'm talking about in regular season MVP and dominance. So so what I'm saying is, like, if you break it down from a career standpoint, statistically, you could see that Tim Duncan had a better career. That's why these arguments.
Is he better than? Is he better? Do you have a better NBA career than LeBron James?
No, better what?
Do you have a better career than LeBron James?
No.
Well, how does this thing still not apply to LeBron James?
What do you mean the same? Because he has more MVPs. He has more Finals MVPs than Tim Duncan, right? So it's like,
so we value two different things. I'll tell you what I value real quick. I value eye test, numbers, and championships.
Okay.
So that's why, like, when I think about career, I look at numbers. I don't look at MVPs because I believe you can have an MVP stat line without winning an award.
That's true.
Well, no, that is true, but that also means that you're going to put faith in the things that you choose and not look at the entire thing. You can't just pick and choose 4 categories when there's 10 to choose from.
Proved that he was better though by the way how he was winning championships with Pau Gasol, because he repeated with Pau.
Do you know how good Pau Gasol was?
He's not as good as everybody else second option though.
Who? Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol in his prime. Top 3 big men in the league. So while he might not be D Wade in one of the 75 greatest. He might not be D Wade in one of the 73
big man. He wasn't. Come on, we can't do that, man. We can't lie about Pau Gasol, man. I love Pau
Gasol.
Okay,
in his prime in 2000. Now, mind you, Pau Gasol led a team to the postseason as their best player. They didn't win shit, but that still says that he needed to be a number 2, and that means he's a damn good number 2. So Pau Gasol. Right, Pau Gasol, where would you rank him at bigs when he was winning championships with Kobe?
Top 7. Because remember, you had Dwight Howard, you had Kevin Garnett, you had Tim Duncan. Bam. Right? All three of them.
No. Tim Duncan, when they were winning those championships, Tim Duncan was already on the decline, in my opinion. He was on the decline at that time. At that time, in my opinion, Pau Gasol paired with Kobe Bryant. And again, it wasn't just those two.
Decline, that goes against what you just said. How did he have a better career than Kobe? That was my point when I say he declined early.
Did you not see Kobe's decline? Did you not see Kobe's decline?
Kobe's prime was longer, though, because Tim Duncan declined earlier than Kobe is what I meant. And so Kobe went on to beat a super team and win back-to-back after the time when Tim Duncan started declining in 07. Actually, when he declined in 07, Kobe beat Tim Duncan without Shaq. And you know what I'm saying? So
No. I think when we're saying decline, we're saying a very different thing. That means when you're not the best player in the world, but you are still a high-level player. Kobe was a high-level player, was the best player in the world for a time, was a high-level player, and then the decline was sharp and again, is based off injury. So I don't hold anything against him.
Other guys, was he better than Dirt and Whiskey?
Who?
Pau Gasol. So I
no.
So I would say Dwight Howard, Kevin Garnett.
But again, I would say Dirt. Again, this is when you were transitioning. Just because you are big doesn't mean you are a big man, especially if you talk about the general. No, hear me out. Just because you're big doesn't mean you're a big man. Like Dirk was a unique, special player. We've never seen him like that. But Dirk wasn't doing the exact same things that Pau was doing. Pau wasn't doing the things that Dirk was doing. They were completely different players. Dirk and KG were closer.
All right, so you think a big man. I know what you mean because you're talking basketball, so I ain't gonna act like I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so, thank you.
Right. So you're talking about post players and stuff like that. Yes, I think he was in the conversation, but I would throw guys like Amari Stoudemire. Obviously, now we would just argue it. You can make a case that Gasol was better.
My point is though, when you try and say the second option, that makes it seem like that is the end of your dominant team. When you have Ron Artest, who is a former defensive player, when you have Lamar Odom, when you can roll a lineup out there that is 6'6", 6'8", 7 foot, 7 foot, and 7 foot. Don't just say he only had Pau Gasol and he wasn't a 75 greatest. I'm not disputing that Kobe was that fucking dog. I'm not disputing that. But there is no metric statistically that you can say he was better than this person at. It's not in the awards. In the awards, there is no metric that you can point to that says he was better. That's the thing. So if we're looking at stats and awards, LeBron leads in both of those categories. So everything else you go to is eye test and who is your favorite player. That is the only thing I
go on, man. This is a metric I go on, right? I go off the metric of you grab the remote, you grab the popcorn, and you turn it.
Okay. And that's where I go. I appreciate you. Keep being respectful. Don't start calling people dusty old motherfuckers and all that shit. Keep being respectful. But all kidding aside, there's nothing but respect, man. I love that you guys are talking hoop. Understand anybody that's listening. Most of these conversations start with who their favorite player was. That's why no one can ever say from an older generation can say that Kobe or LeBron is better than Jordan, because when they grabbed their popcorn and they sat down. But Jordan's career wasn't just those 6 championships. He had many years where he was getting his fucking head beat in. Many years. When he was leading the league in scoring, he was getting his head beat in. Many years.
And then he got I think you can make a case that Kobe and LeBron over Jordan, but that's a conversation for a whole nother day.
You don't want to do that.
I don't think y'all want to do that, man.
No. Because you think this argument is fucking. There is no metric that you're going to find. LeBron statistically is closest to Jordan. Award-wise is closest to Jordan. Kobe's game is closest to Jordan.
Well, I can say Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan got 9 first-team all-defenses. So that goes to those two. What about the fact how Kobe almost three-peated twice? But the thing is this, Richard, right? Jordan never beat a super team. Jordan never had to play a super team in the finals, though. So really, the only reason Kobe didn't three-peat twice is because he played a super team in 2008, but he also beat that super team in the finals.
What do you mean? What? Dallas swept them. Dallas swept them.
No, I'm talking about in 08. If he'd have won in 08 versus that, because Jordan never played a super team in the finals. But
in 08 he was playing with Pau Gasol for that first time. That first time you're with the group, it's hard to win a championship. LeBron lost his first time. He won his second year. Kobe won his second year with Pau Gasol.
Right, Jordan got swept though against the super team Celtics. Kobe and LeBron didn't get swept by them.
Yeah, but bro, like Jordan's team, Pippen. I don't think Pippen was on that team. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I'm almost. I know Pippen wasn't on the first one. Pippen wasn't on the first time he got swept.
They had Orlando Warriors. He averaged like 21 points or something like that, right?
Yeah, Orlando Woolridge, bro. Like in the annals of fucking basketball history, like Orlando Woolridge was a great player, but he's not moving the needle. People are like, "Hey, had Orlando, they should have won."
He changed the dunk contest. He was the first guy to do a dunk between the legs in a dunk contest.
Who gives a fuck about the dunk contest, bro? What the fuck are you talking about right now? I don't like fuck.
Hey Richard, he the first guy to go between the legs in a dunk contest.
I swear to God, bro. I swear you're using my fucking anytime minutes. I gotta go, man. I'll be on NBA Today in 30 minutes talking shit about this conversation.
Oh.
All right, bro.
All right, bro, man. Y'all have a good day, man.
All right, man. Ah, man.
That's dope, Crunch. That was dope.
Man, shout out to Richard Jefferson, man. There's much respect.